Indonesia hit by worst COVID-19 outbreak with more than 2.7 million infections. And at least 80 died and hundreds unaccounted for following ravaging flood in Germany. And Dodge crime reporter dies after shooting. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the World News on Independent Television. I am Adesoa Lato. A former provost of the Nigerian Army, Hassan Ahmed, has been killed by gunmen. Army spokesman Onyema Wanchuku, who confirmed the incident to newsmen, said it occurred in the late hours of yesterday. The Major General Ahmed Hassan was said to be returning to Abuja from Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, when he was attacked around Abaji Area Council. His remains have been conveyed to the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association Hospital in Abuja. Until his demise, he was a director at the Army headquarters in Abuja. Plenary session in the House of Representatives on Thursday was characterized by a rowdy session. The rowdy session ensued during the close-by-close consideration of the Petroleum Industry Bill. ITV Abuja National Assembly correspondent Charity Tanko has details.
That was the scene that followed the close-by-close consideration of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. From the mood of lawmakers before the commencement of plenary, one could tell that the day will not end well. Lawmakers started chanting 5% even before the commencement of plenary. Seeing the mood of lawmakers, Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, called for an executive session, which was moved by the House Majority Leader, Representative Ado Doguwa.
May I move that this House, in the light of the circumstances we found ourselves this morning, very strange actions that are very unparliamentary. And as usual, we need to really talk to ourselves to really understand what is even on the ground. It is on this note that, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House resolves into executive session to discuss whatever matters we have at hand.
After the executive session, the consideration of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill began. First sign of trouble was when the Deputy Speaker ruled against electronic transfer of results even when the ayes had it.
I'm for electronic voting, and we should all be for it because we want transparency. What happens to our brothers in Maiduguri, in Yobe, where completely the masks are down?
When a matter is raised here and a boy's vote is taken, the gavel is hit, it's a concluded matter.
50 to 54 and the fact
All efforts to calm lawmakers proved abortive until the Speaker reverted back to plenary and made the following announcement.
We will be adjourning the House until tomorrow. We will have the INEC chairman and NCC.
For now, the House is yet to adopt the conference report on Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Charity Tanko, ITV News, Abuja.
The Senate on Thursday passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. The amendment bill gives exclusive powers to the Nigerian Communications Commission to determine electoral voting and transmission of results. ITV Abuja National Assembly correspondent Osawoname Bizugbe has details.
We are not interfering with the commission procedure. They have gone behind to go and doing their listen. Today is where we are going to end it. Because I want to call for division so that we will now end. That is what I wanted to do. Let's call for division. Let's call for division.
After a heated debate, the upper chambers passed the electoral bill as the lawmakers disagreed over Section 52, subsection 3 of the bill, which deals with electronic transmission of election results. During the clause-by-clause consideration of the bill, Senate's Deputy Whip, Abdullah Hisabi, moved to amend the section. The new amendment, which was seconded by Senator Ali Ndume, provided that INEC may consider the election transmission of results so far the national network coverage is adjudged to be adequately secured by the Nigerian Communications Commission and approved by the National Assembly.
The Commission may consider electronic transmission of results provided the national coverage is adjudged to be adequate and secure by the Communications Commission and approved by the National Assembly.
Those in favor that clause 52(3) as amended stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
In a counter motion, Akwa Ibom North Senator Basi Akpan said the initial proposal made by the committee should be retained. This was supported by Senate Minority Leader Enyinaya Abaribe.
Further amendment that the Commission may transmit, may, at the discretion of the Commission, may, not shall, that the Commission may transmit the result by electronic means, where and when practicable. Practicable. Where and where practicable. And simple. Where and where practicable.
Those in favor that clause 52(3) as amended by Senator Basi Akpan, say aye. Those against, say nay. The nays have it.
After a rowdy session and using a division voting method, which was conducted by clerk to the Senate eventually retained Abdullahi's amendment after a 52-28 vote with 28 legislators absent.
The results of the votes so far in the elections we just had. Total number of senators that are supposed to vote, 108. We have yes, we have 28. We have 52 nays. We have 28 people absent. So total number of votes cast is 80. That's the result.
This now settles the issue of 52(3), that this amendment proposed and voted for by senators, proposed by Sabi, stands.
Electronic transmission of results remains a significant proposal in the Electoral Act amendment in the current electoral reforms process in Nigeria. Osawana Me Ibizugbe, ITV News, Abuja.
The first batch of 6 A-29 Tucano aircraft ordered by the federal government for the Nigerian Air Force has departed the United States for Nigeria. The jets will complement NAF's fleet in the fight against insurgency and banditry in the parts of the country, especially the northeast and northwest. They will fly through Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Spain, and Algeria before arriving in Nigeria end of July. NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Edward Gebke-Quet, in a statement disclosed that the official ceremony to induct the aircraft is being planned. And currently, the A-29 Tucano aircraft are used by 15 air forces worldwide. 3 persons have been killed in a bank robbery in Ilara Mokin in Ifedore local government area of Ondo State. One of the victims is a journalist who is a public relations officer of a private university. The robbers also killed a policeman and a motorcyclist. They were said to have raided the bank for several minutes and carted away with an undisclosed amount of money. Efforts to reach Ondo State Police Public Relations Officer Tilio Ikoro to comment on the incident was unsuccessful as his cell phone went unanswered. Now, more facts have emerged on the arrest of 4 women selling donkey meat in New Benin Market in Benin City. Permanent Secretary, Edo State Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Mr. Peter Ikomobegbe, said the women have been arraigned in court. Deborah Ogbefon has details.
On Wednesday, 4 female butchers were arrested for selling donkey meat in New Benin Market, an animal declared not fit for consumption by veterinary officials of Edo State. The Permanent Secretary, Edo State Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Peter Ikomobegbe, said the women who sourced their meat from Agbo, Delta State, and brought to markets in Benin City were arrested. He said the bases of meat were confiscated by the task force team of the ministry, while the suspects have been arraigned in court to serve as deterrent to others who sell prohibited meat and other food items in Benin City.
There are 4 of them. They are in court, and we'll go out to prosecute them. Donkey meat is not safe for consumption in Edo, and our duty as a ministry is to ensure food safety. And those who think that Edo will be a ground for such activity, they better be warned. We will go out at all lengths to ensure that donkey meat is not sold in Edo.
A veterinary practitioner in Edo State Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Thomas Haruna, commenting on the implication of consumption of donkey meat, said the meat is not healthy for consumption. He said those selling donkey meat often infuse the meat with chemicals which could be injurious to health. He said, moreover, donkey meat is not among the meat legislated for consumption in the state. He wants people to be careful of meat they buy.
Something that is not good is not good. Something that you cannot eat, don't give it to any individual to eat. And something that you know you cannot consume for yourself, don't take it to the market. I think we should have that conscience within our own self. The animal is not meant to be slaughtered donkeys. Biblically, they are not animals that are meant, they are beasts of burden. Beasts of burden are not animals to be what? To be eaten.
He enumerated some peculiarities of donkey meat to include dark in color, offensive odor, and cheaper in price than the other meats.
We advise people, mostly those that go to market, mostly in the evening time. That is a target time for these people. Their meat's always very, very cheap. A promoter will go for 1,000. You see people selling it for even 200. Cheap article. That is an way most of those people come in.
Edo State Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources has since disposed the confiscated donkey meat. Deborah Ogbefon reporting.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says 23,600 have so far registered in the ongoing INEC continuous voter registration exercise in Edo State. Head Voter Education, Edo State Office of INEC, Mr. Timidi Warero, said the exercise continues. Best to be has details.
Laying emphasis on those who are eligible to register, the Edo State INEC Head of Voter Education, Mr. Timidi Wariowe, said anyone who missed the 2018 registration and those who have attained the age of 18 years and above can log into the INEC portal to register. He said the online registration, which started on the 28th of June 2021 across the country, will continue till next year. He added that the coming weeks, the local offices of INEC of the 18 local government area of those states will commence the process of registration and capturing of biometrics of those who have registered online.
Those that are registering online, because we cannot capture their biometrics, their fingerprints, they will, after the registration, they will schedule a date, schedule an appointment to go to the INEC offices for them to capture their biometrics. So the number that has registered for now, from the 19th of July, sometime next week, I think Monday next week, they will go to the offices, our LG offices will be open for them to go and then capture their biometrics.
Mr. Wariowe said the link to the portal is www.cvr.inecnigeria.org and www.cvr.gov.ng. He said all those who had issues with their PVCs, those who want to change their boots, and those who want to change their surnames also have the opportunities to do so online.
A whole lot of activities are going on at the portal, and that is why some of the commission felt that some of these things, if we reduce it to only our INEC offices, there's going to be, we're going to have serious crowds, a in our offices. So those that are computer literate can go online and sort out some of these problems so that we reduce the people that will go to the local government offices for registration and for other activities.
The INEC official said all can register from the comfort of their homes through their mobile phones before they will now go to INEC offices for capturing. Best Mbiere reporting.
Our cameraman with Independent Television and Radio in Benin City, Mr. Kenneth Aimufwa, has been diagnosed of kidney failure and is currently battling to survive. According to his doctor, a minimum of 10 million naira is required for a kidney transplant. Best Mbiere, who visited the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, where he is currently undergoing dialysis, has details.
Before now, Mr. Kenneth Aimufwa, a staff of Independent Television and Radio, was full of life, a hard-working, gentle, and a father of 4 children. But the story of Kenneth Aimufwa, who is known as a peacemaker, took a twist when he was diagnosed of kidney failure that affected his 2 kidneys. Kenneth Aimufwa has been under medication. The news crew visited the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, where he was undergoing dialysis. Kenneth Aimufwa and his wife Faith have passionately appealed to members of the public for financial support to carry out the transplant.
I beg you, come to my aid. Come and assist me. I'm dying. I don't want to die. Please, and leave my children and wife and family at home. Please come and help me and assist me. We need financial assistance. Please, I'm in this machine. To dialysis my body is not easy. I need money to take off myself. And we spend money in this machine all the time. Please, come to my aid, please. I need people, many Nigeria, that can help me. Please, assist me.
I want people to help my husband because he has been a good husband, a good father to my children. The children are always crying that they don't see their father again. We are always going to the hospital every day for dialysis. Should please help us. They should help us, please. I don't want to lose my husband. We have children to take care of. I cannot take care of children myself. Should please help us. I'm appealing to everybody in Nigeria. In Edo State, our governor, our deputy governor, please, fathers, mothers, help us.
Commenting on the health status of Kenneth Aimufwa, Dr. Enajite Okaka, a consultant nephrologist at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, said the patient's kidney disease has reached the final stage, so he has been undergoing dialysis 3 times in a week. She said a sum of 10 to 15 million naira will be required for the transplant.
Kidneys are not functioning well anymore. They are not able to support him. So we have to do what we call dialysis to support the person while we plan for a kidney transplant. Well, if you want to have a kidney transplant, you have to have between 10 to 15 million naira to carry out the procedure and to buy medication.
All donations for Kenneth Aimufwa should be paid into this account. Martins Ugiagbe, Zenith Bank, 237-244-8714. Or donations can also be sent to ITV Corporate Head Office, Glass House, Airport Road, Benin City, or the Communications Village, Igosa. All donations will be duly acknowledged. For more information, call 080-8585-3792 or 081-3192-9738. Best Mbiere reporting.
You're watching the World News on Independent Television. Still to come, Indonesia hit by worst COVID-19 outbreak with more than 2.7 million infections. Stay with us. Thanks a lot for being there. Indonesia is seeing its worst COVID-19 outbreak, with more than 207 million infections so far this week, as the new highly transmissible Delta variant continues to ravage the country. Indonesia appears to be facing a worsening crisis. Indonesia's official death toll is now more than 70,000, with around 1,000 people killed by COVID every day in the past week. The country is facing lack of access to oxygen and firefighting hauling the dead from their homes. Health of experts says it is impossible to control the virus while the country's borders are still open, though officials maintain that only selected foreigners can enter the country. According to Indonesian independent data group Lapo COVID-19, at least 450 people have died in their homes since June after they had no choice but to self-isolate due to no capacity at overwhelmed hospitals. At least 80 people have died and many unaccounted for in Germany following devastating floods. Record rainfall in Western Europe caused rivers to burst their banks, devastating the region. Belgium has also reported at least 11 dead after the extreme weather, which political leaders have blamed on climate change. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has pledged full support for the victims.
I grieve for the people who've lost their lives. We don't know the number, but it will be many. Some in the basements of their houses, and some who are working as firefighters, trying to bring others to safety.
The Premier of North Rhine-Westphalia, Armin Laschet, blamed the extreme weather on global warming during a visit to a hard-hit area. Experts said the climate change is expected to increase the frequency of extreme weather events, but linking any single event to global warming is complicated. Speaking during a meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden in Washington, D.C., Mrs. Merkel expressed her deepest condolences to those across the region who had lost their loved ones after a day of worry and despair. The German states of Rhineland, Palatinate, and North Rhine-Westphalia were worst hit, but Belgium and the Netherlands are also badly affected, with further flooding in Luxembourg and Switzerland. Adesuwa Latu reporting. The U.S. and Germany would stand together against Russia's aggression, President Joe Biden said as he welcomed outgoing Chancellor Angela Merkel to Washington. Mr. Biden said he had voiced concern to Mrs. Merkel over Russia to Germany gas pipeline, but he agreed Moscow cannot be allowed to use energy as a weapon. The U.S. president said the two allies also opposed anti-democratic actions by China. Mrs. Merkel was worked with 4 U.S. presidents is leaving office. In a joint news conference with Mrs. Merkel on Thursday, Mr. Biden said that they will continue to stand together to defend their eastern flank allies at NATO against Russian aggression. South Africans counted the costs on Thursday of arson and looting that has destroyed hundreds of businesses and killed at least 117 people as the spate of violence began to ebb and hold its troops deployment to 10,000. Pockets of unrest remained, notably in the port city of Durban, where looters pillaged shops and racial tension flared. But in the main commercial city, Johannesburg, shopkeepers and other residents swifted through debris, cleared up trash, and assessed what remained of their ruined enterprises. The rioting broke out in response to the jailing of ex-President Jacob Zuma last week for his failure to appear at a corruption inquiry. It swiftly degenerated into looting and destruction, driven by widespread anger over the hardship and inequality that nearly 3 decades of democracy since the end of apartheid have failed to address. The military caught up all its reservists to bluster army and police who have struggled to contain the unrest. The acting minister for the office of President, Cyril Ramaphosa, said troop members have been doubled since Wednesday to 10,000. This was still fewer than 25,000 Defense Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Kwakula said on Wednesday had been requested. The death toll had risen to 91 in KwaZulu-Natal, Zulu's home province, where his support is greatest, and stood at 26 in Gauteng, which includes Johannesburg, making it a total of 117 killed so far. A total of 2,203 arrests has been made. Adesowa Lato reporting. The prominent Dutch crime reporter Peter R. de Vries, who was shot and seriously wounded in central Amsterdam 9 days ago, has died. The 64-year-old was shot in the head minutes on the evening of 6 July while walking away from a television studio following a chat show in central Amsterdam. The shooting shocked the Netherlands, where Mr. de Vries was well known for his investigations of mobsters and drug lords. 2 suspects were arrested. Mr. de Vries has won critical acclaim for his reporting on the Dutch underworld, including the 1983 kidnapping of the Bear millionaire Freddie Heineken. The statement released by his relatives on Thursday said he died surrounded by the people who love him. The family asked for space to process his death in peace. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte said the veteran journalist was afraid of nothing and no one. Mr. de Vries was attacked on the evening of 6 July while walking away from a television studio following a chat show in central Amsterdam. Almost every night, a handful of young men slip across the well-guided border, swimming across a fast-flowing brown river and trudging into Sudan to escape what they say is a sudden upsurge in ethnic violence into Sudan to escape the sudden upsurge in Ethiopia. This fertile area, still held by the soldiers and militias loyal to Ethiopia's federal government, is now seen as a next target for Tigray's rebel fighters as they seek to strengthen their control over the region and secure potentially crucial supply routes into neighboring Sudan. The conflict in Tigray is now showing dangerous signs of transforming into a more widespread ethnic conflict that could soak in other parts of Ethiopia. There are many reports that Amhara conscripts and volunteers are now being rushed to reinforce the area, along with other military forces from different parts of the country, including Oromia and Sidama. And now talking sports. Remo Football Club of Ikene has been sanctioned and fined the sum of 1,300,000 naira by the Appeals Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation, breaching the ethics of the Nigerian National League of 2020-2021 session. The barrister Ibrahim Edimak-led appeal committee rose from its sitting on Thursday, 14th July 2021, with a decision on the appeal lodged by Bendel Insurance Football Club of Benin in respect of their Group B 2-week 21 clash, which was held by the Remo Stadium, Ikene, Ogun State, on the 6th June 2021. Remo Football Club was found guilty of damaging cameras and mobile phone set, as well as the boss to the officials of Bendel Insurance FC. They were also sanctioned for the injuries inflicted to the players and officials of Bendel Insurance, as well as for encroachment and breach of COVID-19 protocols by supporters of Remo Stars. The club is expected to pay the fine before the home game. The appeals committee, in addition, ruled that Remo be banished to the Akure Township Stadium, Ondo State, for only one match. Bendel Insurance received a warning to desist from acts and conduct likely to bring the game of football to disrepute through the use of social and mainstream media to address their grievances, if any. Bendel Insurance are liable to be sanctioned in the event they breach the warning. To end world news, a look again at the top stories. Indonesia is seeing its worst COVID-19 outbreak with more than 2.7 million infections so far. And at least 80 people have died and many unaccounted for in Germany following devastating floods. And finally, we brought to you the report that the prominent Dutch crime reporter Peter Arro de Vries, who was shot and seriously wounded in St. John, Amsterdam 9 days ago, has died. And at the end of the World News is read by Adesoa Lato. Thanks for watching and have a good afternoon.
Independent Television News.